What's going on? Welcome to Sideline to Baseline with MB and K. Lou, man. It's
Hey,
been
woo-hoo.
glad to be back, man. We had a great show Tuesday. Came back and hit y'all in the mouth Wednesday. And
True,
then guess what? We back. It's Friday. And
true.
Friday is special. Cause man, we got a special guest in the building. I ain't gonna even he told me his real name. I ain't even going out like that. I ain't gonna try. But Bean is in the building. Bean's gonna tell us all that he does, but especially we here to talk about a little UFC, man. If you got them hands. Bean got them hands, man. He got into it because he had them hands. He was training with folks who had them hands, so I wouldn't run up on him if I was you.
Watch out now.
Hey, Lou. Also, one of the things he do, man, Bean is also my barber, man. He does a great job. So he definitely got some hands, man. I need a cut, Bean. I'm cutting myself, man. I'm protesting, baby.
I got you, man.
In Miami, man. So, hey, man, but no, man, he's a guy, man, who's getting in where he fit in. He's doing some great things down in Miami, not only own his own barbershop there, but, man, construction. But, Bean, tell our Facebook, YouTube group, man, our followers, man, exactly what you're doing, man.
Guys, first of all, I want to go ahead and thank you. Thank God that I'm over here, man. Coach, we came along together. It has been years, and I want to thank, man, Aubrey Hill, rest in peace, man. I love you, my brother. Coach Hurt, that's my brother, man. That's you guys. This is what created what we got going on, and I just want to say thank you, first of all, for putting all of us together. Other than that, you guys got a great show, and thank you for having me. I started as a barber. I love barbershop. That's my life. That's what gave me everything. Barbershop actually opened up a lot of doors. I'm a general contractor now, and at the same time, I'm a UFC manager. I don't want to say UFC manager. A manager in general. I deal with a lot of UFC fighters. Now I'm doing a lot of venues. Our thing is doing venues because being a manager is a good thing, but at the same time, you're actually babysitting somebody.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I dealt with Yoel Romero for 8 years. I dealt with Top of the Tops. I was actually trying to take Coach to a couple of the fights. I'm like, Coach, come over, come check this fight out.
Right.
And actually, it took me to my mentality was like, man, forget managing. You're not gonna make $2,000-$3,000 for each fight, $5,000. How do you make more money? That's my hustle, So I like
more money.
Exactly. So I created my own team and I said, let's do venues, man. And now we're doing venues for UFC Fight Pass. And now we're going Dominican Republic, Aruba, Australia, and now we're over here in Miami. We're actually doing a fight tonight, UFC Fight Pass. You guys better tune in because there's some surprises tonight.
Tell the people where to watch it at if they want to tune in for it.
You can tune in UFC Fight Pass. You go to UFC Fight Pass and you put Titan FC. Titan FC. As soon as you put UFC Fight Pass and you see it, it's gonna be a big surprise. They're actually gonna put me on the cage. They're gonna be like, hey, listen, one of the main guys is gonna be like, hey, Bean, you're my manager, and I can't tell you the rest. And another guy that we're gonna talk about, and it sucks that I gotta tell you guys because you guys gotta put me in the hot seat. Kobe Covington is gonna be there, friend of ours. But it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's business, man.
Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted to lead the show off with, man. Covington, man, he hit the news internationally.
Yeah.
This is the biggest fight he had because of what he said after the fight. So he made a comment. LB has the comment. He'll tell you guys about that. LB, you want to read that comment?
Hold on a second.
Yeah. So he made a comment, and it was definitely derogatory. But he and the other fighter got a pass. They got some beef. The other fighter broke his jaw. So if I'm him, I'm gonna sell out too, any way I can. But Dana White was questioned after the comment was made, and I said, man, obviously it was derogatory and all that. But I'm like, man, listen. First of all, this is a fight. like ain't nothing off limits. Okay, like we going in there, we really could kill each other. I ain't saying we tried to, but that's a possibility. And Dana White said, listen, I ain't muzzling nobody. They say what they say and let the chips fall where they may. And Ballers, I agree. I don't think he should muzzle anybody. For what? Like if he can say it, go ahead. And guess what? Covington got a call from the president. So the president liked what he's saying. And he had on his MAGA hat and everything. You know what I mean? So hey, I'm sure it's gonna be he can expect cheers, you can expect moves, but either way, man, muzzle a guy. Bean, what you think?
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's certain topics that you can't touch.
Talk to him, Bean.
You just can't, and it sucks because he's gonna hear that. And then the guy that broke his jaw, Usman, another friend of mine, he actually hosts he's the one that speaks on the Titan FC as well. He's actually gonna be here tonight as well. There's certain things that you can talk about and you can't talk about. But you guys gotta understand something. Kobe Covington is the type of person that he's gonna go ahead and make all the noise. Like you could go ahead and be like, and you see him on the post, and you see him having drinks, and you see him with a bunch of girls, and then you sit down with him, and you're like, "This is not really you." And you know what you? I'm gonna give what the people want.
Absolutely.
They're gonna hate me or they're gonna love me. But at the end of the day, I'm a family guy. Like if you sit down and you meet the guy, you're gonna be like, "Hold on, you don't drink?" Then you're gonna be like, "Hold on, man. So you go to church on Sundays with your moms?"
Yeah.
And it's totally different. But he says, "Bean, I'm an athlete. I'm not a fighter. I'm a real wrestler from college background.
Right.
I'm a beast. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to go ahead and get that McGregor money."
Right.
But what happens? People that don't know him want to talk shit. Excuse my language, but let's just be real. And then he says, at the end of the day, I'm getting the money, and I'm sitting down with the president, and I'm eating, and I'm hanging out, and I'm getting exposure.
Right. It's working for him, and that's exactly when you started talking about, who he really is. I thought immediately Conor McGregor, because it's working. Conor's the biggest thing in UFC, and he's not even close to being the best fighter ever to come through there. But
you're totally right.
Hey, but guess what? He moves the needle. Don't nobody move the needle in UFC like Conor does.
After this last fight, and that little saying that he said, not only just a Black Lives Matter, he was like, "What is that shit?"
Right.
Donald Trump talking to him. That's it.
Right.
Forget Conor McGregor. His next fight, he's making millions. Let's be real. You guys might not know this, and I'm a manager, so I know this. You go for a fight, right? Right now in the UFC, you're going for the title fight. You're nowhere near $500,000.
Wow.
That ain't even money. That's not money. Now, if you're a champion, you might be making $1.5, $2 million. Watch how you make $5, and that's Johnny Bones Jones money. McGregor's totally different because he took it with Mayweather and he did the whole boxing thing, but not everybody's McGregor. This shit that just happened right now is gonna take him to McGregor because he ain't stupid. He ain't stupid. He was just like, you know what? I'm gonna make sure that everybody talks about me. Now you see him walking around, and I'm like, Kobe, what the fuck did you just do, man? I gotta deal with you. We're gonna have a meeting with Pitbull right now, and Pitbull is gonna tell me, what is this guy talking about? Black Lives Matter, and it doesn't matter, and you just can't do that. So I don't want to say it affected him because it can, but he's smart about it. But I feel like he crossed the line, man. There's some topics that you just can't do. Like you can't just touch those topics. Like this is real shit, man.
Right.
Like I take it personal, but at the same time I know it's business. But not everybody's like that.
Right. And you're right, Ben. I mean, like there's certain things that you say. I mean, like you said, I understand he's trying to sell himself and all that, but you got to make sure certain things is off limits, especially the sensitivity that's going on in America right now. You don't want to be that guy, And so the things that what he was talking about, right? He was on roll call, boy. He was calling everybody out. The guy Usman, he talked about who he ended up getting in a post-fight exchange with, right? He said, Usman, And he said this in reference since he got the call from Donald Trump. He said, you got a call from your little tribe, smoke signals, all that stuff, right?
Right.
Then he said this about Willie, who ended up fighting, who's, like you talked about, big advocate for Black Lives Matter. He called him a communist, standing up for lifelong criminals, right? So stuff like that, when you say that, you're like, come on, man, like it's like Tyson, he got man. I'm gonna eat your kid. Wait a minute. Whoa, this went too far, man. I thought we was just promoting the fight, No, it's like, oh, you crossing, like we need a safe word right here, and so listening to him with that, and then that, like I said, man, is crossing the line, man. It's just taking it too far, and I agree, especially with what's going on right now. So, especially when you hear that, when you share about the backstory of the guy, because I don't know him on a personal. When you say all that stuff, and you say, man, this is not you out of character. At some point, you got to draw the line.
Yeah, you have to, man. You have to. And you know what sucks? I had this conversation with him, and I was telling him, hey, listen, if he was here on time, I was trying to push him for him to come over here on time. And what I wanted to do was like, yo, Kobe, get over here, man, and talk, and let them know the real you. But he's still not on the way. I'm like, damn it, man. And I wanted to do it, Coach. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I wanted to do it for you so you can see what I can bring to the table. You know that I've always been real.
No doubt.
I don't talk about, look, I got Khalil Mack in the barbershop and he'll hit me up and you'll be like,
right.
But I don't go out there and be like, oh, I don't expose myself like that. That's not me, man. But I wanted to bring it so he could say, guys, I got to do this, man. This is a movie. And this is what people want. Because I'm trying to get paid. Because if you go in there and you say, let me see the analytics. And then you say, let me see how much money you really made. And you look at it, you're like, 300 grand? That shit ain't money, man. You're putting your life on the line for $300,000. Out of $300,000, you got to go pay taxes. Then out of the taxes, you got to pay 30% to your management team. Out of your management, you got to pay 10% to your corner. So you get home with $130,000. That is not money for a fighter. Right. This is not boxing. Wow. Boxing, you're making millions. UFC, you ain't making no money.
So talk to me about that, though, Bean. I thought UFC had turned the corner. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like I know more UFC guys than I do boxers. So, like, why hasn't the money followed that trend?
I don't want to get into it with Dana White. Dana White created this. So when people didn't believe on it, he was giving back out of his pocket with Lorenzo, and he was giving back with all these guys. Lorenzo was the X one. So they bought it. I don't know how many millions or how many thousands. I really don't know the numbers, but I know that nobody believed on it, so he did it. So I can't knock him for saying, hey, guys, now you guys want to get paid, but I did 20 years of paying the guys out of my pocket.
Exactly.
So I'm going to get paid. So you want to put a union now, but the union wasn't before. So now you want to change it up. Nah, it ain't fair. So I understand where Dana White's coming from. So he's like, you know what? You can't knock his hustle, but you got to find a balance.
Right.
And Dana White is just Dana White, man. You can't touch that guy, man. But these guys that are making money, like right now, one of my top fighters here that's actually fighting in China FC, they're probably making like $2,500.
Wow.
What is that? For 4 months of training? That's not money, man. I would rather work in Burger King or sell water on A Street. But these guys don't have that mentality. It's the love that they have for the sport. So that's why I respect these guys.
Right. Well, they need guys like you representing them, B.
Thank you, my brother.
No doubt, man. Hey, another thing you mentioned about Dana White, and obviously he had a lot to say in the sense that he's not going to muzzle guys from expressing their opinion, which I agree. I mean, that's the Constitution. Everybody got the right freedom of speech, right? We pay blood, sweat, and tears to have that privilege, and I admire him for it, and then they try to bait him and saying, well, he said, look, if it's wrong, it's wrong. I'll mention that, but still, everybody has the right to speak. Now, I like what Israel said, though, who's obviously, I want you to talk later about this fight that he's got tonight, but he said, I just want to, here's a quote. He said, it shows you the landscape of the media and what it is right now. I made a joke about dropping Romero like the Twin Towers, and everyone lost their mind. Even if I said it was a joke, it was pretty funny, but people took it was being offensive and like digging, but I was making a joke. This guy Covington directly insulted my culture, my brother, and many other cultures, and no one said anything. But it just shows you a mirror. Shows you a mirror to you guys. So yeah, I don't really care. Usman broke his jaw, and I don't really care. You know. So what's your thoughts on that? You know what I'm saying?
Izzy's a smart guy, man.
Yeah.
Izzy's a very smart guy. He's from Nigeria. He's a go-getter. He wants it. He's gonna go for it, and he don't care what's gonna happen. He's very smart. Yoel Romero was one of my fighters, and it sucked that he beat us. You know, it hurt me. I wanted to kill that. I was like, little skinny ass dude, man. But it is what it is, you know. Big, mad respect for him. You guys gotta understand something. Izzy said what he said about Yoel Romero, and it was a joke, and people took it the wrong way. But right now, people are afraid to say something. If I don't like you, I don't like you. Izzy said, if you don't like me, just say you don't like me. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you don't like the fact that I like comics and you think I'm a retard because of that, say it. Don't be afraid to say it. A lot of the people are afraid to say what they want to say. But then there's other people that say things like what Kobe said, and you just can't say it. You know, there's certain topics you can't touch. In my barbershop, you can't talk about religion and you can't talk about politics because that shit you ain't gonna win nothing. If you talk about religion, and I got a Muslim dude here, and I got this guy that's voodoo, because it happens in Miami, right. Voodoo, and you ain't on neutral, I'm gonna lose both of my barbers because of your stupid ass comments.
Right.
So you gotta be careful what you say. And my thing is like, Izzy said what he needed to say, and nobody said nothing about Usman, about Kobe. But believe it or not, everybody's talking about it. Maybe he hasn't heard of it, but it was right. I don't know it was wrong, man. It was wrong.
Right. Hey,
it was wrong. I don't care what anybody says.
One topic I want you to definitely talk about, man. Talk about this fight that's tonight, man. Fill in the fans about this fight, man. I mean, two undefeated middleweights going at it, man. I mean, I think this is the last time since 2005 or something. You got two guys undefeated. I mean, this thing's been brewing for last 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's some natural hatred about it, man. I mean, fill in the fans about this fight, man, from both sides, man. Give us the details, brother.
Listen, first of all, when you called me, you were like, hey, B, man, let's get on this podcast. And I was like, okay. And then you told me, let's talk about this UFC fight tomorrow. I was like, what? They both beat my fighter. They both beat Yoel Romero. And I'm talking about they went to war. They actually gave Fight of the Year to Yoel Romero when he fought Paulo Costa. So it's a great thing that's happening right now. I feel like the positive vibe that Izzy got, can't nobody take that away. But then Paul is so strong, and so he's just so explosive that I feel like he's gonna come and get him, and he's gonna bite him for all that talk that he did. It's gonna be a hell of a fight, man. You guys gonna have, if you don't know who these guys are and you guys put UFC tomorrow, it's gonna be the fight of the night. I guarantee you, it's gonna be the fight of the year. Not only because of this whole COVID thing, because Izzy could talk his way out. Paul is from Brazil, so he really can't talk much English, but he backs it up. And get ready, man. These undefeated, somebody's gonna lose. And watch out, if I was smart and I'm putting bets on, and let's just talk about betting, and you're very smart, you go ahead and you put your money on the draw. Because it might be an even match. It might be part 1, part 2, part 3. You never know what's gonna happen with this fight.
See, that's the promoter coming out of you. Bean De La Hoya.
Hey,
Bean King, though. It's just right. Bean.
Hey, Lou, I felt like one of those Martha Stewart meetings where she got inside trading.
If you guys put something, I want at least 2%.
Right. Don't tell me to fight.
Nah, listen, man. you guys got to understand something. I've been there for like 9 years, right? In UFC, you can't fix this. Dana White don't care about that. Dana White got way too much money. And then you come over here, and I'm telling you because I deal with my fighters. Yoel Romero, you people could have said, man, this is fixed. Yoel Romero was going in there to kill somebody for $200,000. And that's not money, man. So when he loses, he's like, I can't believe I lost. And he's making $125,000. You going in there to make 200 grand. And if you lose, you're going to come out with 125. Out of the 125, eliminate everything you got to pay. You're going to go home with $60,000. You want to come home with $200,000. This is not no fix nothing in the UFC. In the UFC, they don't fix fights. Maybe boxing, but not in the UFC. It ain't happening.
Right. But Bean, man, hey, man, well, we appreciate you joining us, man. We had an outstanding time, man. And, man, you share some knowledge with us that's priceless, man. Hey, any final thoughts, man? For those who just came on late, man, just tell them about the fight tonight. Tell them how they can watch it. If they want to watch it, man, tell them where they need to go.
Guys, listen up, man. I'm going to tell you a little secret. I don't even care. I'm going to have to leak this out. This is like the barbershop. You come over here to the barbershop and you say a secret, it's going to get leaked. The CEO of Time FC is going to be watched tonight, premiere tonight in UFC Fight Pass. The CEO, his name is Lex. He is an ex-Marine. He went to war for us. He went to a couple of wars. And he got exploded. He lost his eye vision. The man is a legend to me in my eyes. He's one of my man, I could say older brothers, father figure. He's fighting and he's giving back to the troops. So he's going to get me on stage and say, hey, guys, listen, Bean is my manager, game time management. Thank God for these guys. We're creating these things. We're going to try and get some type of money. Anything that's going to, any dollar counts. So what I'm going to do is once I fight in Dominican Republic, international waters, I'm going to give back to my troops. I think we recuperated, $15,000. We're trying to get to $50,000. So what we're trying to do is just get as much money as we can so we can give it to the troops. It's going to be November 21st in Dominican Republic. The reason it's going to be in Dominican Republic because he can't pass medical records in the United States. So he wants to do it for the troops. And he's like, I go to war for free, man.
Right.
Might as well just take this fight. And whatever I gain, I'm going to give it back. Dana White's behind it. UFC's behind it. Embedded is behind it. So just tune in. You'll see us there on the big cage. And it's going to be a beautiful thing, man. You know, we're giving back to the troops. We're giving back to other troops that went to war for us. And it's called Our Heroes, Big Lex. And let's just get it, man. I want to see you guys. I want to see everybody tuned in, man. And Coach, thank you, my brother, man. I hope that when you guys get a studio, you call me because I'm going to be the first one there, man.
No doubt, man. We appreciate you coming on, man. Thanks, big boy. And you look sharp, boy. You look sharp.
I got to come see you, so I got to look sharp, baby.
Hey, man, enjoy the rest of your night, man. Wish you all the best, man. Love you, man.
Thank you, guys. I love you guys, man.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man. You too,
all
baby.
Right.
Bye.
Man, what an outstanding guy, man. What an outstanding guy. Glad that he could come on and spit his knowledge about UFC because that's, man, I remember growing up, not growing up, but in college, remember they were still on the VCR game. You had to go rent the UFC tapes at the video store. Yeah. So I remember that, man. That was the coolest thing ever. Watching them things, man.
Yeah, no doubt. And my boy, hey, Lou, our boy Rivers, man, he appreciate being what he's doing, man. He said he retired from Navy, man. We thank you 20 years, baby. Great job, Steven, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And he got your jersey in the bill.
I know. I appreciate the love, man. So he said something, K. Lou. He also got another coming. We got to watch those canes. We got those canes over here. Whoosh, whoosh. We got those canes over here. Whoosh, whoosh. Where your canes at, baby? Don't
man.
You. Check in, baby. Time.
Hey, well, man, what an awesome. I know you shouting out your canes. We had an awesome time Wednesday night, y'all. Y'all got to go back. All the people that didn't get a chance to check in and holler at us. And y'all got to go back to the videos, man, on YouTube and Facebook and catch the FSU Miami reunion we had, man. We we got a chance. Hey.
Adam, that's not me, Adam.
So, man, I tell you what, man, it's awesome. We got a chance to get a bunch of guys back on there, man. And it was exciting. We had Charlie Heisman in the building, man, Kez McCorvey, Corey Simon, Derrick Dodge, Dexter Carter.
Hey, man, you naming all these guys, man.
I'm doing that on purpose because then I'm going to let you go with Miami.
I know.
You know, man?
I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, I want to make sure you don't have to, because now they the enemy right now. So I know you don't want to show them no love, and I'm trying to make sure they get roll called so that they'll get left out. Now you go ahead with the UP.
I knew you was doing. I know you was trying to show them some love, man. But hey, we ain't got no love for them. I'm pulling a Jerome, bro. Hey, did Japan eat with America before they bombed us? No, let's get out of here, man. We got give me the fatigues. Put the fatigues on. We out, baby. Hey, but no, man. You know what, K-Lou? I mean, you're right, man. We had a great show, and we had from the UM side, we had Tolbert Bain, we had Bernard Tiger Clark. LT, my roommate, L-Dog getting it done. We had Antrell Rowe. We had Chad Wilson. All right. I mean, we was getting it done. And Joaquin Gomez de Llama Gonzalez.
Yes, sir.
And the thing I like about it, man, we had players that represent all the different eras of University of Miami. And also Florida State. Hey, Lou, just you see the hate. We hate them on the field, but you see what I love was the respect off the field, you know? And so much respect. Like, man, we battled. We know we went at it, but you could tell, like, I mean, it was nothing but mad respect, you know? And that's the thing about it, that it's like they brought up the best in us, and we definitely brought up the best in them, you know? And I just love the stories. I love what happened. I love that the fact that we could get on a Zoom call together and just share some stories and talk about some things, and it was really good.
Yeah, it was amazing, man. You had guys like PK. I thought it was PK, Sams, as well as Antrell Rowe. Yeah. Both almost said the identical thing, and PK didn't, really wasn't on because he was at his kids' basketball practice, and he kind of jumped on late, kind of said what he had to say and jumped off, and they almost said the same thing, which was amazing. They were both saying, man, when we looked at those guys on this other side of the field, they saw themselves, and that's what stood out to me. That when they both said that, and these are younger guys who played kind of later on, it was just amazing that they felt like, man, he just like me, so I got to strap it up. I got to. I can't give it nothing because obviously they know they're gonna act a donkey if they want to win the side.
No doubt. I mean, no doubt, and that was the thing, man, and just the stories And then the other thing I liked where Tolbert shared the story about Herb, how he found out what his girlfriend name was.
Yeah, definitely.
So that never gets old for me, man, just listening to them. And then you know what? It was so funny because
you gotta back up. You gotta tell the story because a lot of people don't know the story. So you just glossed over it. So,
y'all got to watch the show, man. Go back and watch the show and tell the story. It's real funny, man, what they talking about. But hey, go back. But one story I will share with you that we talked about plenty of times is that we had Tiger Clark and Dexter Carter on there talking about the flag and the sweaty balls.
Listen, that was amazing to have two guys that were involved in a huge moment, really, for Florida State, because they had been getting what we say mollywopped the 3 years prior to that. And Dexter said they had lost 3 in a row, and then here they go, they senior year, he about to lose again, and that he credits that exchange between himself and Tiger Clark was giving them the momentum to win that ball game.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And he mentioned that, and then just in Tiger defense, Tiger was like, you know what? Because Dexter was telling the story. It felt like one of those fishing stories, right? Where you all the time and ass up to it. And so Dexter was like, yeah, you put the sweaty paws. And he's like, wait a minute, go. Tiger's like, no, go to the field. Go to the field. Right? And that was the classic. Tiger didn't even touch him. And then he said, well, it was too close by me. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So no, it was so good. But even doing a dialogue, like you said, man, it's funny how things happen and how, like he said, he's right. He felt like that moment in the game helped propel them. And it was so funny. He was so crazy. He said, yeah, because I had 142 yards. And I think he was like, oh, it was 142 and a half. You know?
Yeah.
And don't forget to have. But just, and then even with DJ Dodge, you know, he was like, look, man, on that play, which is a classic play in Miami history, a touchdown pass from Steve Walsh to Michael Irvin, you know, he was like, man, that was my fault. You know, I took a bad angle to the ball. I got caught looking, peeking, and Mike got me, you know? And he owned up to that. But the thing I like, man, it was like again, man, just the respect and the love affair. And then I like this part where I think it was either Antrell when he started talking, right? He was like, well, first of all, I don't know what it's like to lose against Florida State. You know? And then when he was saying that, then Corey Simon was like, I don't know what it's like to lose to Miami either. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Listen, MB, I didn't realize, because, you know, that was during my years. I didn't realize that, you know, during that time that Corey them just ran through the U. And you know, I don't want to get you, you know, you get a little
Hey, what's that word run through? Use a better word, sir.
Well, they dominated the U. And so that was amazing, man, for me to like, I'm like, dang, but it made sense because during that time, think about it, at least on defense, Florida State was like by far above everyone, not just, you know what I'm saying, not just Miami, but I mean, I don't think it was close in the country when you had those guys, you know, defensively. You know, you can argue back and forth offensively, but defensively, those guys were amazing.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, what's up, Chucky?
What's going on, man?
You got it, man.
You out there on the golf course, man? Where you at?
I was on the golf course, man. I'm over here just kicking it right now, man. Good to see you guys, man. I apologize for being late. What's going on?
You good, man. I need to be where you at, man, with the palm trees in the back, man. You got a pool or where you at, man?
You know what? I'm over here at Rocco's Tacos, man. Like I said.
Oh, okay. He on Sand Lake Road, MB. He right on International Drive in Orlando. You know where you go do a little playtime, take the family and restaurants, all that stuff. That's where he hanging out.
Yeah, man. Just hanging out a little bit, man. How you guys doing, man?
We doing
good.
Better
that you on.
Yeah, I'm here, baby. I'm here. What we talking about?
Hey, look.
We was just talking about UM beating Florida State. Did you get a chance to watch it?
I didn't get a chance to watch it, but listen, I'm a huge Michael Barrows fan. I remember the hit. I remember the hit now.
Yeah. I'm sorry. That's what we was talking about. I'm sorry, not watch it, but we was just talking about it.
Yeah, we was talking about it.
And we just wrapping this up, man. So you're happy to join in right quick. So we're just talking about this, and then we'll go to basketball. How much time you got, man?
I got a little bit of time. What's going on, man? Talk to me.
We came in at the right time. I was just giving how Miami's going to beat down Florida State, you know? Are we going to smash these? Do we going to?
But Mike, let's be honest right now. Like, everybody can beat Florida State right now. like, I mean, you ain't really getting credit for beating Florida State right now. I mean, come on.
That's over with.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
He just glad he ain't on the other side of that. Is what he
I mean, it used to be the same way for the U. The U coming back now, but I mean, come on, right now, beat Florida State. Come on, man.
Hey, you know what? For me, at this point, I don't care. I mean, I'll take it like we playing Duke. It don't matter. I count a W is a W, baby.
Hey, see, you throw that out there every time, man. Hey, the last time we met, it was a misunderstanding.
Yeah, whatever. Hey,
we won.
Hey, no misunderstanding now. Hey,
so we're 0-2 right now. I'm trying to get my.
You know.
Hey, look, we do 0-2 right now. I'm trying to beg the ACC to get Miami on the schedule so we can get a dub.
Look, what has time changed?
Hey,
bro, it ain't the U or the 80s and the 90s, man.
And don't forget the 2000s.
And the 2000s, like, man.
But you know what? We turn this thing around, man. The boys looking good. We got a quarterback. We finally got a quarterback. We got an offensive coordinator getting it done. You know, I think, man, they're going to continue the same success that they've been having the past two games. Had a big win against Louisville last week. It was the first win in a long time against a team in the top 20. So, I mean, at this point, man, I like the Bible say don't despise small beginnings. So right. I'm happy because it could be like Duke. We could be 0-2 right now, you know, and talking about next year. We can't wait the next year. So,
boy.
So I'm throwing shots.
Wow. Wow, that was nice. Hey, look, man, we going to skip out a bit. Chuck in the building. Chuck is a 15-year pro, 12-year NBA veteran. And see, I love to say about the 15-year because that count. Hey, that's how he cut his teeth to get in the game.
Every time we talk, I add another year.
Okay. Yeah, so look, man, Chuck played for them Lakers. And of course, I'm a Laker guy. Let's go ahead and get out there early, man. What's going to happen with Lakers in the Heat in the finals?
Hey, listen, I don't want to put the cart before the horse because the Lakers still got unfinished business. And you know, to me, Denver feels like they're in a really good position because they've been down 3-1 in every series thus far. And if you're really looking at the series from a basketball perspective, the Lakers got away with game 2. So really, you know, the Nuggets ain't really overwhelmed. They lost a game last night. So the Lakers need to finish the series. You know, they need LeBron to play a little bit better. They need those other guys like your Danny Greens and those guys to make some more shots. And then they'll get to Miami. And Miami still has unfinished business. Like, you know, they lose tonight, it's going to be a series.
It's interesting. You going, you know, we'll keep it on. No, let's go right to Miami, man, because I think that's been the most interesting thing that's happened to me. Seeing the return of zone in the NBA obviously happened, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit. And then now, seeing it be used and being effective is blowing me right now. I'm like, man, I keep thinking I turn on the game and I'm watching Jim Boeheim in Syracuse. So talk to us about this 2-3 zone, man.
I think the 2-3 zone in the NBA is more effective for a number of reasons. One, in the NBA, everything has been so man-to-man and so one-on-one to where coaches don't really prepare for the zone, right? Now you have bigger athletes, better athletes playing a zoning area, and Miami plays a different zone to where they put their big guys up front and they have their smaller guys playing down low. So when you're playing against bigger guys, you gotta lob the ball. When you got your smaller, quicker guys in the back playing the passing lane. So it puts more of an emphasis on players having to make perimeter shots and putting them on the spot. And I think players aren't comfortable doing that because they haven't really done that since they left college. You understand what I'm saying? So, okay, hey, man, we finna play a zone. You know you finna get outside shots. Now you got to make those shots. It's a difference with that as opposed to LeBron James getting all the double teams and he gonna kick it to you and you standing over there wide open. Well, you ain't standing wide open right now because everybody has a zone, and that makes a a whole big difference in the game. And these guys are showing you that, like, the Miami Heat is getting to the finals on a 2-3 zone. You know what I'm saying? The Toronto Raptors won a championship last year playing a boxing one on Steph Curry. Like, that's stuff that you played in college that you don't necessarily think that that'll happen in the pros. It's no different from years ago in football. No one was playing the read option because then no one thought that you could play the read option in college football. I mean, pro football, because the athletes are so good. Right. Well, now you got guys like Cam Newton and Lamar Jackson running the read option, and they setting records in the league doing it. Right. You know, it's the same thing in basketball.
Hey, I'm hoping that Boston don't see this, but what adjustments they got to make to be successful at this time versus the zone?
Well, I think a lot of times the Boston Celtics, they've been up 17 points, Mike, in almost a game, right? But you have young guys who aren't used to being the guy. And what I mean by that is Jason Tatum has now became the guy.
Right.
In the playoffs, possession basketball is very, very important. They get up 17 points, and it's almost like, okay, it's not time for me to put up numbers, and you're taking bad shots where you ain't moving the defense. Jason Tatum come up the court, he dribbling the ball up the court, nobody touches the ball, he shoots a ill-advised shot. When you're playing in the playoffs, every possession is important. So every time, 17 point ain't nothing to these guys. When you got Tyler Hero over there, if he make 3 straight threes, that 17-point lead goes to 8 immediately, and now they have all the momentum, and Miami got goons. Like, they're not your average basketball player. Them dudes goons over there, man.
Right.
So you get them the momentum, and everything kind of changes.
Right.
You watch the Boston Celtics, it looks good for Tatum to be shooting step-back threes, and those guys are very skilled, but sometimes what I see is the Miami Heat is saying, man, we're going to test y'all dog level. We don't care nothing about that skill stuff.
Right.
We're going to test y'all. We're gonna force everybody to the paint. Y'all got to go in there. Y'all got to see Bam Adebayo. And then offensively, we're gonna move this ball, and we're going to make y'all run behind Tyler Hero and the rest of these guys, and, they haven't made the adjustment yet.
Well, you know what? One adjustment I saw the Heat made, and Double A beat me to it. At first, against Milwaukee, they was playing like a 10-man rotation. This last game, they kind of reduced it, where you didn't see D. Jones, you didn't see none. So that adjustment, man, it took off because one guy that got more minutes or did more seemed like Hero. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think in the playoff series, a lot of times they're going to change their depth patterns. You don't see none as much as you've seen them in the regular season. You don't see those guys as much. No different from, again, because I'm talking to football guys, same thing in football. You know what I'm saying? When you get to the playoffs, things kind of change. I watched the Lakers the last series. They didn't play Dwight Howard. They didn't play JaVale McGee because they were playing against a different style of team. Well, just because one thing doesn't work against one team doesn't mean that it ain't going to work the next team. Dwight Howard went from not playing the last series, and now he's in the starting lineup. You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah.
It's just about the matchups and what people think is going to work. So I'll give this. I think Eric Spoelstra right now is really showing his worth and how well he can really coach. I think in the past people would always say, well, Spoelstra's pretty good, but he had LeBron James, he had Dwayne Wade, he had Chris Bosh. I think right now with the team he has now, he don't have that quote-unquote big name, that quote-unquote superstar that everybody has, but yet and still they're one game away from being in the finals with an opportunity to win it all. And that says a lot, man.
Hey, I'm going to ask you one more question because as soon as I've let K-Lou talk, he's going to talk about the Lakers the whole time. Hey, but listen, one more question.
Okay.
I know right now I'm going to jump ahead to the free agency. Right now it's rumored that the Freak, right, is projected to go to Miami, right? Me looking at it, I know the Freak is MVP, but I don't know. Miami is built to last with Hero, with this young team. I mean, for me, I don't think they should even try to go for him, especially if they got to give him access to get him. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that the Freak is going to go to one or two places. This is me speaking.
Yep.
I think he's either going to go to the Miami Heat, and the reason why he'll go to the Miami Heat is simply because, one, it's Miami, two, he's in the Eastern Conference, which he's familiar with, or he's going to go to the Golden State Warriors. Go to the Golden State Warriors, obviously they got Klay Thompson, they got Steph Curry, they got a whole huge, roster, which kind of benefits him. But you put the Greek Freak right now with the Miami Heat roster, with the Tyler Euros and the Jimmy Butlers and the Bam Adebayos and the Robinson kid and the Johnson kid and the Nunn kid, like those guys for the next 3 years would be just like the Golden State Warriors was a couple of years ago when they got KD, where you'll see those guys in the finals kind of every year, as opposed to not having them. I can tell you this. It's just me speaking, and it's just my opinion. I don't know. I don't think that he's going to stay in Milwaukee.
Okay.
So if he don't stay in Milwaukee, you have two teams right now that you could possibly go and immediately have an effect on getting to the finals. Basically, especially now that Miami is in a situation where they're only one game away. They're one game away and they're one piece away to where you put the Greek Freak on the Miami Heat team and put them in the finals this year against the LA Lakers, and you're talking about something that we haven't seen in a while.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You put him in with the Golden State Warriors, and you got Klay Thompson, and right now the Greek Freak, it's a complimentary situation. Everybody's building a wall to guard him, and also there's this different coaching. You put him with the Miami Heat with Eric Spoelstra, where they're going to be running all different type of stuff. How can you key on it?
Yeah.
Which, you got money, you got longevity, you got Miami, so all that is different.
I understand what you're saying. I agree. For me, I'm concerned about, because usually if they make that move, then they got to do a sign and trade or whatnot to make it happen. And I'm just concerned about giving up assets, which is they're going to want a hero. They're going to want something in return to get him a year early,
Well, I think with him it's going to be a situation of is it money or do you really want a true opportunity to win? Yeah. If I'm the Miami Heat, I don't have to mess up my team to get the Greek Freak.
Right.
Like, we're in the finals now without you.
That's why, and that's what I don't want. If we can get him without him, I'm all good.
Right.
Get him without giving up something, we all good.
Hey, buddy. Hey, Kawhi Leonard took less money to go to the LA Clippers. If you really want to win, you come to Miami. You'll take less money. We'll make it work for you in the long run, and we're gonna be in the championship every year.
No doubt. And you can be on South Beach, baby.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Go ahead, Kid.
So look, you said superstar, man, and I don't know why we ain't in the picture. We don't have a team full of 1 year deals. We got two people, Kuzma and LeBron, and everybody else can go except for, of course, AD will re-sign him. So we got three people on the roster. I don't know why he don't fit with us, but I'm gonna let that ride.
Well, you got to understand when you're vying, bro, to be the best player in the league, you don't go and join LeBron James' team.
Yeah, you do. You want to win, right?
Right. So if I'm the Greek Freak, I don't go join LeBron James and the Lakers. I go join Steph Curry, or I go join the Miami Heat.
What you mean? KD did it. This ain't you for this ain't you.
Okay,
You
so
what you do? Go get the
we
best
have
team.
plenty of other superstars in the league that have had the opportunity to join LeBron James. Why haven't they ever done
it? Because they ain't want to win.
Hey, listen, Kawhi Leonard last summer had a chance to join the LeBron James, but they're fighting to see who's the best overall player. So guess what? He went and joined the Clippers instead of joining the Lakers.
Right, and what they got him home. So he's taking that right now.
There's no guarantees that they're gonna win it with LeBron.
Oh, it definitely is now.
Obviously not. I mean, he's only won it 3 times in 20 years, Kevin.
Hey, everybody, we needed some help. There you go.
Okay, hey, so listen, y'all did a trade for Anthony Davis, which is a good look.
So that's what I wanted to talk about. For the first time for me, Anthony Davis played like the generational talent that I always hear about he is. Okay. And that meant he went out there, we dumped him the ball every time down, and we forced them to double him. Please explain to me what's going on in his head that doesn't allow him to do that every night.
Well, again, I always relate to the game being different, bro. Like the game is different. Like it's not the old days in the late '90s where guys go stand on the block and we throwing the ball down low and we allow them to draw the double teams. Now the game is more analytical. You know, guys are shooting threes more. You know, they're looking at all these plays and say, well, if this guy gets the ball here, it ain't justifiable to winning. And so we're living in that day and time. But what they don't realize is that basketball is not going to change. Just like football is not going to change. You got three sides of the ball. You got your offense, you got your defense, you got your special teams. Basketball, you got your offense, you got your defense, and you got your mismatches. Right. Okay, we're going to find out what the mismatches is, and we're going to attack, go in there, and then preferably, hopefully it's near the basket, and then we can build out. But now everybody wants to reinvent the wheel and make it analytical. So now, hence you see Dirk Nowitzki out there shooting threes and winning a championship, and now guys going, hey, man, I'm a stretch forward now instead of being I'm just a forward. You know what I'm saying? So now Anthony Davis, instead of him going to the block every time where he has a mismatch, you see him stepping out there and making threes for the game winner.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, where he could possibly stand there and dominate on the block all the time, he's saying, man, why would I stand out there on the block all the time when I can step out here and make this shot? Right. And that's where the game is going. But
and
that's why I
make him play center too. I say he mad. He don't want to play center at all. I don't want center. I want to be a forward. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But that's why I like the Miami. That's why I like the Miami Heat, because they're not being analytical. They're not saying Bam Adebayo, stand out here and shoot threes. Bam Adebayo is saying, man, I'm standing right here by this basket. Anything come through this lane, I'm controlling. I'm gonna let Tyler Hero. I'm gonna let Robinson. Y'all shoot all the threes. You and the left hand little point guard. Y'all shoot the threes. But everything around this rim, y'all just throw it up by the rim. I'm gonna go get it.
Right.
And they're doing it the conventional way, which is going totally against the analytics of the game, which is good for the game, because where the game is going now, you're pretty much making big men obsolete. Yeah. You know, you're making those guys obsolete, which ain't the way the game is supposed to be. You got guys like Joel Embiid sitting out there on the perimeter now. Philadelphia 76ers was a team that everybody's talking about to win it this year.
Right.
I mean, the league is so messed up right now. You mentioned Joel Embiid, and I'm starting to wonder would anybody? I think he's getting traded this year. And then what happens to his career past that? I'm really struggling about that.
Well, it depends on where he go. You send him to a Miami Heat where analytics means nothing, and he gonna vibe. You send him to a Houston Rockets scene where they playing all small ball and they shooting a whole bunch of threes, then he's done. You know, it just depends on the system and the coaching staff and the organization of what they believe in. But I always say this: we've never seen, with the exception of maybe the Chicago Bulls, a team win a championship without a dominant big man. That's just me. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
like,
that's
you don't really see that these days.
Man, well, big bro, we appreciate you stopping through. We gonna get you right back whenever when this little foolishness stops, and we go ahead and get this finals going, so you can give us the preview of what's about to take place. Man, amazing! You, of course, MB, you know what he played, point guard. You hear the analytics. You hear the basketball knowledge in his mind. That's how he think. He live, eat, breathe, sleep basketball, man.
Absolutely. Before you go, man.
Hey, look, go Heat and go Canes.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hey, hold on, don't leave. And then I'm on your team this year. How about them who? How about them Cowboys this year? I'm with you this year.
Hey, we on our way, baby. We on our way. We gonna put the league on notice this week when we pop Russell. Then we gonna put the league on notice, baby.
Hey, yeah. We need to keep you on to talk about that one.
Well, we appreciate you, and I'm gonna holler back at you to get for the preview with this Lakers Heat matchup.
All right, man. Y'all be good, man. Next time y'all hit me up, bro. I'll be ready for you.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, MB.
All right, man. Later.
Man, so that was awesome, MB. Sharp mind. That's why I knew we needed to get him on here, man. We got to fast forward. We gonna jump out of basketball. Y'all done got enough basketball for the year. He said what's important, Heat and Lakers. The only thing he didn't say was the Lakers in what? 5. Lakers in 5 against the Heat. Sorry, y'all. Man, we gonna jump to the NFL. He mentioned that Seattle-Dallas game. MB, give us okay. I think I'll go with this one because you got another pick of the week. My pick of the week. Oh man, I done skipped. Let's talk about a little quick Thursday night game. You wanted to talk about that foolery? Go ahead.
Hey,
Go ahead.
We can't bypass that because just in case my uncle had money on the Dolphins, right? Because usually when I was growing up, anytime the Dolphins lose, he'll call them the Miami Mullets. So since they won, I got to give a shout out to my home team, man. The Dolphins got it done. Fitzpatrick works his Fitz magic. Had 3 touchdowns. All right, and then that defense was stinging out there, baby. They were swarming, man. They put some money into that secondary. They came up with 2 picks. It was harassing Jacksonville all day. And surprisingly,
Who did they harass? Who?
Jacksonville.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Harassing them because surprisingly, Jacksonville had a great. I mean, they started off good this year, especially with all the trades and whatnot. So the expectation was low for them. So, but then Dolphins, man, took advantage of it Thursday night, man, getting it done. So hey, I got to give a shout out to the home team, man. Got to give a shout out.
Hey, I gave Jacksonville 3 wins this year. Is what I predicted.
Oh, so they're on pace, right?
They on pace. So that is not shocking me. I was not surprised, and I do not know why.
Early in the season, that kind of threw me off,
And I do not know why you wasted your time to talk about that. Moving right along, Seattle-Dallas is the game of my pick of the week, and I'm going to go right back at it, man. Y'all already know why I love Dallas, man. The big four, baby, they was live and in effect. They was a problem. So I'm going to remind y'all, CD, Zeke, Dak, you know what it is. And, of course, Amari Cooper, man. Listen, they're going to be a problem again for Seattle. I'm going to break this game down very simply. Both of them have high-power offenses. Both of them give up a little too much, especially Dallas on defense, especially Dallas. But Cam made, Seattle look pedestrian on defense last week as well. I think the Cowboys just going to outscore them, MB. I think it's going to come down. It's going to be a gunfight. It's going to be a shootout. And I think the Cowboys just going to edge them out.
You know what? I think you're right in the sense of this. That is definitely going to be like deja vu of last week, what happened with the Falcons and the Cowboys. It's the same scheme defensively that Seattle runs. So hopefully it's kind of it's bittersweet, right? And what I mean by that, Dallas confidence, like, man, we did this in the same scheme, so we ain't got to change too much in our game plan. We can take some stuff that New England did to let Edelman have a career night, and we can massage that stuff in, right? And so they can go into confidence. But then also Seattle can be like, okay, we see what they did against our team, so now we can go ahead and make the adjustment necessary. But defensively, man, they're hurting with injuries in the secondary. And just like Dallas on defense, Seattle's the same way. Those two teams lead the league in explosive passing. So, I mean, right now, I agree with you. It's going to be high scoring. However, Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson, baby. Hey, you talked about Matty Ice. You don't like him, but I love some Russell Wilson.
I told you.
Enough running game that I think that's going to be the difference. All right, that I think Seattle's going to pull it out on top, baby.
Man, Ice done forgot, and that's a throwback to last week. Why his bread was getting butter, and he forgetting about Julio Jones, and I don't know how you could forget about that. Julio had horrible numbers last week, and he done moved right on to Calvin Ridley, like that's his new guy. So until Matty figure out what time it was and who got him that $100 million, boy, he gonna be struggling. Like moving right along.
Defense to that, just to add to that, and you may be right in the sense I ain't take it to the lab, but Julio, he had dealing with a hamstring injury as well, so it could be reason that. And then defensively, right? I'm gonna be focused on him. I'm gonna try to take him out the game and force the other guys to beat him.
Right. Well, do you know how it is? You still go to your number one. I don't care how many.
Yeah, you still try to force it. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, New Orleans and Green Bay. And let me come right out. Listen. Green Bay done shocked us all. Like we thought this was gonna be a regression year, a step back year, a farewell year. Let's get the young fella ready for next year. Aaron say, man, I don't care about what y'all talking about. All I do is drop dimes out here, and all I do is make plays. Now this week gonna be a little different. I thought I read MB that Devontae Adams might be down this week, like he nursing a little sore something, and so this might be a little bit of a problem. However, he ain't throwing all 400 yards to him, so I think Green Bay, man, is gonna roll with this. I think New Orleans might be hitting a rough patch early on in the year, trying to figure out who they are and how they're gonna get things done. I'm gonna go with Green Bay.
Yeah, and you talk about it. You're right with Green Bay offense right now. Surprisingly, they are the number one total offense in the league right now, and the big reason is the triplets they have of Adams and then Aaron Jones, who also the leader rusher in the NFL and the leader total. Have the most scrimmage from yards in the NFL as well. And they're doing an outstanding job. And you mentioned about Adam, though. He didn't finish the game last week against Detroit. He nursed a hamstring injury, so he's questionable. And when you look into this game, right, we talk about New Orleans. New Orleans now, they used in the past, they was consistently number one offense. Now they're around like 21st. And this game have both of their top receivers, right? Or they could possibly be out. Thomas missed last week.
Michael Thomas,
he missed last week games against the Raiders. And just like I said, with Adams didn't finish last week game. So this game could be possibly without those two guys. But I agree with you. Green Bay expectations, especially heading into the draft where you take a quarterback and you still got Aaron Rodgers in his prime. I felt like they didn't do enough about it. But I think what's going to happen, K. Lewis, this game right here, especially with New Orleans come off a loss, and their coordinator, Dennis Allen, he's going to force somebody else to beat him other than Aaron Jones, especially Devontae Adams can't play. So they don't have enough firepower around Aaron Rodgers, right, to carry a team against a defense like that scheme-wise. So I'm going with New Orleans. I think if they can wake up and get it going on, especially with Alvin Kamara, especially with Drew Brees, he needs to get jump started. They got a bad taste in their mouth. I can't go against my man Sean Payton. So
I tell you, you've been 0-2 picking with him.
Hey, I'm going down with the ship, baby.
So look,
they beat Tampa. They got Tampa. I'm 1-1.
Hey, yeah, so I'm talking about this week. So this is what's coming down the pipe. I'm going against the grain pick of the week, baby. And with that pick, it's New York Football Giants against San Francisco 49ers. And yes, you know it. I'm going against the grain, baby. I'm going to go against it. And I'm going with New York Giants. And it's not because of why y'all think. We lost Saquon Barkley. We got a DB, Adrian Colbert. He probably ain't going to play. He's nursing a quad injury. But this is why K. Lou is going against the grain. K. Lou going against the grain because the 49ers are down. Tevin Coleman, Dede Ford, Jimmy Garoppolo, Dre Greenhalgh, George Kittle, Raheem Mostert, Hey, and I'm gonna throw back 10 more names on there. Craig, Earl, John, all the boys down at the corner 7-Eleven. They missing a lot of people, y'all. I'm going with them New York Football Giants.
You know what? Hey, this one of those games, stay loose and going against the grade.
Yes.
You know what? You're right. With the roll call of all those guys missing, this is their best chance to win. But you know what? I mean, I'm going against Giants Nation, man. You know what? I don't think they're gonna do it. They can't do
Let's
it.
go do Danny. Hey, Danny Dimes finna drop dimes, baby. That's what they call it. Danny Dimes. Let's go, Danny.
Yeah. You.
Hey,
Hey,
my dad used to say my daddy was a big Dolphin fan. Book him, Dano. Book him.
I wish he was Dan Marino. That joker, he's still developing. He's still developing. He ain't got enough help around him yet, you know.
Hey, man, like I say, MB, I'm riding with Danny Dimes, baby. So look, I know we skipped a little bit early on. MB, Pitt Louisville's gonna play. I like Pitt on defense. They were outstanding last week. MB told y'all about that game, and they playing Louisville. I'm gonna go with offense versus defense, man. I'm just feeling offensive, you know, and I'm gonna just go with Louisville in that pick. MB, how about yourself?
Oh man, no, I'm going with Pitt. You went gave Pitt the blueprint on what it takes to defeat Louisville and Pitt, man. Like you know, I'm going with defense. And I just think, man, defensively their scheme and what they do, right? I think Pitt, man, they got a veteran defense and they good up front. I think they're going to create some problems and whatnot. And then defensively, like Louisville, man, they don't have enough firepower up front to stop what Pitt does. Smash small football, throw that ball up top. So I'm going with Pitt, man, to get the win. Home team, baby.
And of course, Duke gonna get on the board on that win column this week. We got UVA, so we gonna go ahead and take care of it. We gonna go to they neck of the woods and get it done. I ain't gonna let you respond to that.
Hey, we need to test you for the coronavirus, man.
The SEC.
We need to test you, man.
The SEC. You see, I ain't letting you respond. The SEC has started football, y'all, and they start this weekend. And right out the gate, you got the number 2 team in the country. How you number 2? You ain't played. Everybody done played 10 games already. How you number 2? You can't be number 2.
Hey, it's a Aretha Franklin song. Respect. It's called Respect. RSCBCT. You find out what it means to me, right? Hey, it's about respect, man. Where your brother was on here earlier talking about roll ties, man, and rightfully so, man. With Alabama, man, what they got coming back on their team, man. Obviously they still got to question that quarterback. The guy Jones ended up playing like 4 games.
Yeah.
But still, they got enough talent. They got 4 returning offensive linemen. They got arguably like 4 potential first-round picks on their team. So Alabama, man, they consistently don't rebuild, they reload. So arguably, man, you got to give them their due respect, man. So and as far as Nick Saban, what he's put together, his team's going to be ready to go, So I don't have a problem with that. Matter of fact, when you look at the SEC, right, the Lions Memorex, they have 7 teams that's in the top 25, and 6 of those teams are ranked in the top 10. 6 of them ranked in the top 10. Right?
Well, those are preseason rankings. We'll see what all that means. Moving right along. Ole Miss is playing UF. Now, the exciting part about this game is Lane Kiffin back, y'all. He back in the SEC. Y'all, he told y'all he'll holler at y'all in Tennessee and ran to USC, and now he's back. He's back to Ole Miss. Now, Lane Kiffin got a couple things working against him. Number 1, Dion in town now. So that sold up state that you thought you had, it ain't gonna happen no more. The second problem is you playing one of the best teams defensively in the SEC every single year. They're going to be around number 1, 2, or 3, right there with Alabama, behind Alabama, or in front of Georgia. But them boys D up with Florida Gators. And I think Lane Kiffin just getting there with that mediocre offense that he run everywhere he go is going to get hit in the mouth. This one's easy for me. I'm going with UF.
Dang, man, do Lane Kiffin owe you some money? You came hard at him. God, what's going on, man? He owe you some money? What's happening?
That's all the high seat. That's all the high seat.
Oh, good Lord.
Well, we can get into Lane Kiffin. Tell me what he did to get this job.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll wait. Okay, I'll wait.
Well, I mean, you know what? First of all, I ain't trying to defend him. Right? God knows that. Right? But
tell me how he was the head coach of the Raiders. Tell me how he ended up in Tennessee. Tell me how he got the USC job. He ain't even finished but 3 games in Tennessee. Like, explain to me what I don't know about Lane. Just do that. How about doing it? Work with him, be prove it.
I ain't gonna be no Johnny Cochran for Lane Kiffin. I'm gonna say you gotta know when to pick your battles. I ain't trying to defend him. I don't know him personally, but I ain't trying to defend him.
But I'm just following the career, and I'm just trying to make sense of it all. That's it.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I think also he got a second chance or third chance or fourth chance, whatever at FAU, right? But you know what? I gotta say that because you're right. You know, when Alabama was getting ready for the championship, he was the OC. I mean, it's like he got fired on the day off. Who gets fired heading into the Saban say, just go, just get out here. You know,
he was cussing him out every week on the sideline. LB, I don't know how he lasted.
Oh man, I wasn't trying to draw him, man. You know, I love his dad. I like his dad. I know his dad, man.
Hey, that's what I was saying in the beginning when he was getting all them jobs. Money done got another job, huh? I just thought they kept getting the name wrong. Kept putting Lane instead of money.
but no, man. But up there in Mississippi, man, that couple is there. I mean, for him to run his offense, I mean, he's got to.
What offense? Tell me what offense he had, please.
I don't know the stats, but FAU, man, Florida Atlantic, they was doing well, man.
Oh, okay.
They was doing well, man. You know
who they beat? Who that powerhouse beat?
Hey, come on, that's the.
Okay. I told you I was waiting. Look, man, I appreciate you trying for him. You try hard for him.
I try. Hey, I felt like what's that? Every time I try to get in, every time I leave, you pull me. I felt like the guy. I was trying to avoid him. You done pulled me in, man.
LB, I just wish we could get that many opportunities to fail home. Boy, I just wish we would get that kind of opportunities. You know, you get a league job and you're 29.
Yeah, no doubt.
Somewhere around there. How that out? So, man, in closing, man, MB, you got sad news for us.
Yeah, man, my man, the Kansas Comet, Gale Sayers, died 77 years young. I mean, obviously, the guy was a legend on the football field. He was an outstanding person. Even did a movie about his relationship with the teammate of his, and I mean, just passed away, man. Unfortunately, we a lot of our legends, living legends, are passing away. You know, so that's why I mean, the biggest thing we want to give honor where honor is due, and definitely, man, he deserved it on the football field. He was the youngest guy to be inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame, 34 years young. Was a 5-time All-Pro. We ain't talking about Pro Bowl, 5 times All-Pro. Career was cut short. Only played 7 seasons. Back in the day, had ACL injuries on his knees, and they didn't have the technology or surgery or technique that they have nowadays. So career got cut short. But man, just everybody that knew him, man, they respect him. Obviously, what he did on the field, but off the field, from everything I heard. Oh man, he was truly a impactful person and difference makers in people's lives on and off the field. You know, and K-Lou got to say, K-Lou, tell him about the time it brought to my attention.
So, one other thing, man, this is the original Barry Sanders. So, how we look at Barry and Marvel in his greatness, making people look silly out there, this was Gale Sayers, man. And I had no idea about his career, but when we were both playing for the Giants, man, we went to go play the Bears at Soldier Field, and we got ready for the team meeting, and Coach Foster used to have guys every now and then show up and speak with us. He was real big about that, getting people in front of us and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, who walks in the room? Gale Sayers. And man, everybody just like and silly old me, like, who is that? I'm like, who is that? So I'm researching right after the game, and I'm like, oh my goodness. But he spoke to us, man, and he spoke to us about his career. But what stuck with me, MB, actually about that meeting, he was very big in the business community in Chicago. And so he had started a bunch of stuff and was running a bunch of stuff. And he was really talking about, you know, what he was doing post-career, letting us know that, you know, giving us insight on that too as well. But just to hear his knowledge that night, man, when he was talking about the game, and you could tell, boy, he had a mouthpiece on it. He was one of those guys that you sure didn't want to see score, I bet, on a football field, because he was talking trash even in his speech about who he was and what he was able to do. So that was amazing to me, man. And it's just always amazing that you don't think about stuff like that until moments like this, where it's like, man, I got a chance to hear, sit, and listen to greatness.
Right, no doubt. And that's why, you know, we like one thing we're trying to do is that we want to make sure we find guys like that, Gale Sayers, who people don't know about, man, the difference makers, and just give them their flowers while they're still alive, you know?
Absolutely.
Because they definitely earn it. You know, Adam talking about, man, share his video. I want, just for those who don't know him, let me see if I can share this video of what he brought to the table, you know?
Hey, man, I don't know about you in videos, no, Bo. You finna get us shut down. Oh no! Did you get this clear?
I know, right? Let's see if they cut us off.
Hey man, oh no, man, you too video heavy. Let's pull that video down, man. Get clear.
Hey man, we close out, man. We give NFL down. We give them.
Hey, well, watch this. Hey, we appreciate y'all stopping by from sideline to baseline. Listen, I'm out of here. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I don't know. Hey,
I was always
get on him.
Get on me. We'll close out with Gale Sayers video, man. We gotta show him the love, man. So look, hey, we appreciate y'all coming on. Don't forget to subscribe, man, and watch that UMB down in Florida State this weekend, brother.
I loved watching.
We appreciate y'all. From sideline to baseline with MB and K. Lou. We are out of here.